having a bit of a microphone battle at the moment. So, yeah, we're trying our best to make it sound proper. So, proper. We're on proper. There you go. There's good grammar for you. Don't forget, drop me a like in down below. I'd appreciate that as always. Before we kick off, it helps me greatly. So, yeah, just click the button, drop me a like in. Or make sure to comment with any thoughts, or just let me know if you're doing okay in the comments below. I'd appreciate that. So, right, kicking off. So, he went there. So, on Sunday morning, I like to get angry at certain political programmes on the TV, particularly Andrew Marr on a Sunday morning. Check me out. And on there was a guy called Sir Simon Stevens, who is the chief executive of the NHS. So obviously being the chief executive of the NHS, that was quite topical. And he was barraged with a lot of questions regarding the current situation, the current pandemic. So one of the questions he was asked was about the death rate in the UK. So he was asked about the current death rate and the high death rate in the UK, just in terms of volume. And the first thing that Sir Simon Stevens said about the death rate in the UK was obesity being a major risk factor. So the risk of dying is two times higher, twice as high, if you are obese from COVID. So I thought that was quite interesting, because a lot of people have actually steered away from that as a risk factor over the last few weeks and months, because often what tends to happen is we let our emotions override the facts, and we sort of say, well, a friend of mine wasn't obese and he died, or somebody I know wasn't obese and they died. That's not the point. The point is about obesity being a risk factor, not about somebody else. Or we say, well, blah, blah, we make the wrong comparisons. And what happens is we let our emotions override the facts of the situation. So on an overall scale, we have to learn from things. We have to learn from situations like this, particularly public health and our own health. Because if you want to protect yourself and your family, the best way to do that is to be healthy. And health isn't some mad esoteric thing that's, some magical unicorn rainbow thing. It's actually quite attainable. It's actually quite an attainable thing, and it's actually quite simple to do over time. The difference, I suppose, the key point is that you just do something and acknowledge that you will put yourself at risk more if you are obese, irrespective of what your opinion is. Because the fat shaming, and I'm trying to be careful here, because the fat shaming thing, I understand that, because fat shaming comes from is people attacking people personally for the way they look, which is wrong, or people criticising people personally because of their physical appearance, which is wrong. People stating a fact about physical appearance is different. So somebody saying, well, based on this particular scale that we're using, you are classed as obese, that's not personally offensive, that's just stating a fact. Or saying that you are more likely to succumb to COVID-19 if you are obese is a fact. So when we come out of this situation, what this one thing should be, it should be a lesson for all of us to say that actually with anything, any sort of thing like this, obesity is a risk factor. Obesity is going to increase your chances of early mortality in anything, whether that be flu or anything. If you're obese, it does increase your risks. So what he said on Sunday shouldn't be controversial. It should be, yeah, actually, we need to take better care of ourselves, because that's what he said. Basically, first thing to realise is we should take better care of ourselves. So before we get to all the political stuff and all the care homes and all that, number one, let's take better care of ourselves. Second point on that, NHS. You want to protect the NHS, look after yourself better first. And once you've done that, then we can start talking about all the other stuff, really. So the key message, I suppose, is to take away from all of this is looking after yourself should be a priority. So you can look after yourself, not only for you, but also your family. Because sometimes we tend to think about looking after ourselves as a very selfish thing, because we think we've got to devote loads of time to it, whereas actually being healthy and avoiding obesity doesn't involve running hundreds of miles a week, going to the gym if you could 6-7 times a week, eating virtually nothing or eating clean all the time, whatever that is. It's about just having some basic standards in place so you don't gain too much weight, and that's just about awareness and simplicity, really, which is what we teach in all of our programs. So if it has been a bit of a wake-up call for you, and you are concerned about your own health and then the health of your family and looking after the people around you, then again, we've still got some spots free for our next 28-day transformation next week. We've got at least one, we might have more, just the way the sessions are falling. So if you are a woman aged between 30 and 50 and you are concerned about gaining weight and you are concerned about your health, then get in touch, comment down below with 28 days, or drop me a message and we can have a chat and just see if how we can help. And if we can get you started on the 28-day transformation next week. If not, at least you asked the question. But don't dismiss this stuff, and don't dismiss how much control you have got over your health and prevention of things like this in the future, because it is important, and we do need to consider that coming out the back of it from somebody that's been obese, smoked 20 a day, and done loads of other stuff that's not great. So there you go. So don't forget, as always, drop me a like in down below. Drop me a comment in as well. Feel free to comment with your opinions, points of view. Always happy to hear them down below in the comments. And yeah, let's have a good day.